Now, the fourth message is essentially that medicines and surgeries are not often the answer. So this series of videos is around the Flippin Pain campaign, which I was proud to be part of. And this video is going to be focusing on the fourth message of the 6 messages we had for the campaign. Now, the fourth message is essentially that medicines and surgeries are not often the answer. Very provocative statement, and in reality, I cover the evidence in my book as well, where I focus on full chapters looking into the various medications that are available for pain and the various interventions. Now, surgeries are not often the only things we do for pain. We offer also injections like nerve blocks, like epidurals, like other kind of injections. And we have also infusions, which are often given for autoimmune conditions and for other conditions that affect different parts of the body. Any of these treatments, when you look at the evidence for them, we've realized that in the long term, they are not often as useful or curative. What do I mean by that? Let's take, for example, medications. There are a lot of medications that are useful for pain, that are very effective when you have acute pain, meaning when you have nociception. That is chemicals that are produced at the site of injury. So there are the simple medications like paracetamol, there are the weak opioids like codeine, there are the sort of moderate strength opioids like tramadol, and then you've got the strong opioids like morphine or oxycodone. You've got also nerve medications which are being used as anti-epileptics, sort of drugs for fits, which are gabapentin and pregabalin. And then you've got a variety of antidepressants which have also been repurposed and used for pain management. The evidence that is coming out for all of these drugs, unfortunately, is that they are quite useful when you use it for short-term or acute basis, but when you use it in the long term, or when you use it for the wrong kind of chronic pain, especially when there is no evidence of nociception, then you have problems with these drugs. Opioids and gabapentin-like drugs can cause dependence in rare circumstances, and you've got a lot of side effects with these drugs when you take them at high dosages. So that's been a big problem. There are newer drugs that are coming out. People are talking about ketamine, people are talking about psychedelics or even medicinal cannabis. And I think the jury is still out on what the benefit of these drugs are as well in the long term. So clearly, medications are useful, but they are not the answer. Next, we come to surgeries or interventions. Again, the challenge with a lot of these surgeries is that they haven't been subjected to what's called a randomized controlled trial, which means that when a new surgery has been introduced for trialing in a population with pain, we haven't first compared it to a control. We haven't done a kind of sham surgery or a sort of placebo surgery and then seen if the surgery is truly of benefit, and that's then approved for use. That is a bit of a challenge there, because now when studies are coming out doing these double-blind sham surgeries versus the real surgery, we are finding that after 1 or 2 years of doing these surgeries, there is no difference in the amount of pain medication consumed. There's no difference in the amount of activity that people have gone back to after the surgery. And there's no difference sometimes in the final outcome. Are they pain-free? Are they back at work? We haven't found those fantastic differences with a lot of the surgeries. Mind you, there are some surgeries which are really game changers, like hip replacement or even knee replacement. But for a lot of spine surgery, for a lot of other orthopedic and maybe other general surgeries, we are not finding that they are any better than good conservative management. That means that a lot of these surgeries, like washout surgeries of the shoulder or the knee, are not being paid for by insurers or even by the NHS. That is really something important for us to understand. And if you've had the experience of your GP or your consultants telling we can't do this or we don't have the permission to do some things, or even for injections like facet joints or nerve blocks, it's because of this challenge that interventions also don't seem to be giving long-lasting benefit. That means we really need to be asking the question, when are medicines and surgeries the right answer? And in my opinion, if you've got evidence of acute nociception, meaning that there is evidence of inflammation, there is evidence on blood tests of a clear inflammation, there is evidence of swelling, there is evidence on scans of a clear focus of pain with a corresponding focus or change in the legs or hands wherever the joints are, that is the time for medications or surgeries. But in a lot of chronic pain, we know that that's not the answer, and that's why medications and interventions are not the answer for chronic pain management. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it of value. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel and click on the bell button to be notified when the next video comes along.